Brought to you by...
Hey friends, this pandemic has been a trying time for all of us. Many have lost their jobs, struggled to make ends meet, lost loved ones, and been kept in quarantine away from those that we have left. We have done the best we can to cope with this experience, throwing ourselves into our hobbies and trying to use this time to build something for ourselves. As a result, my friends over at Black Cat Productions have put together a one-of-a-kind documentary experience that aims to give a voice to those of us small creators who often are left unnoticed by potential viewers. Lockdown brings together the voices of a generation of struggling creators as they share their thoughts and experiences with this pandemic, and lend their voices to giving hope to anyone who may feel beaten down by the limitations we now face. I am honored to be a part of this experience, and I urge you all to follow this link on over to Black Cat Productions' official channel, and be the first to check out Lockdown when it premieres on April 30th. Life is a series of never-ending setbacks. We start out our journey with the hopes and dreams of something better than the lives that our parents have led. We step out into the world with every intention to succeed. We work hard to accomplish our goals and slowly realize that all of our efforts come down to the simple fact that oftentimes, luck is the ultimate factor. Some get what they want out of life by pure chance, while the rest of us are dealt a series of bad hands. Sometimes you don't get the promotion that you've worked so hard for. Sometimes you miscarry. Other times your loved one is taken from you by sudden tragedy. The question we are looking at today is what happens when someone's so beaten down by life, who has had everything taken from them, and who now struggles each day with trying to keep going, has their life invaded by a presence that means them further psychological harm. Hello friends, and welcome back to ETF. Today, a young mother battling postpartum depression and the tragic loss of her husband struggles in a lonely and friendless existence. She's failing at her job, she can't sleep or stay awake, and soon notices that someone may be breaking into her home. Her psychiatrist feels that it's nothing more than a symptom of her depression, but the truth is worse than her darkest dreams. Opening in the throes of a bizarre and nightmarish dreamlike montage of strange and slightly unsettling imagery, the film is broken into chapters that are marked by dates, similar to The Shining in a way, with white titles on black screens. The title screen told me that this film is making an attempt to homage the 70s and 80s style of filmmaking. It utilizes mostly lockdown camera techniques, slow camera movements, pans, tilts, with overlays of grain and film burns to emulate a slightly filmic look. I went into this one after reading the synopsis, which boasts the film as a truly terrifying take on the home invasion concept. Normally when you see this, it is an attempt by the filmmakers or studios to better sell the film, when often it's a pile of shit not worth watching. We are introduced to our protagonist, a young single mother who is struggling to keep it together with a very young baby. Through the opening dream sequence, we get the sense that her husband has died, possibly in an accident of some kind, leaving her alone to care for a child in an uncertain future. We get started pretty early with the invasiveness of this narrative, placing ominous figures in the shadows behind our protagonist. We learn early on that she is suffering internally, doubting that everything in her life is meaningful in any real way. She has no faith in her job or the family life that she has left. all of it likely stemming from her loss and her grief. We watch her steal little moments, cracks in the walls that she has built for herself, where she allows herself to remember the man she loved, and lose herself to the bliss of a pleasurable memory. Each one shattered and stolen by the reality of her situation. Within each of these moments, we see how much of a strain life is putting on her. She is breaking down little by little as it is all becoming too much. She feels that life has cheated her and is breaking away at her. It's definitely a form of postpartum depression coupled with grief. We begin getting flashes, nightmares in which she does something horrific that there would be no coming back from. Her mind is acting out under the strain of her stress. There is a perverse invasiveness to this film, as we watch this mysterious intruder silently move about her home while they sleep, watching her and defiling her without her knowledge. We are talking truly perverse defilement here. In one sequence, we watch this guy touch her in her sleep while touching himself, and then in the end, rubbing his love juice all over her lips. The film makes a choice not to shy away from showing us the intruder's face, which to me built a bridge between the two characters. In a way, they are both repressed, damaged people, both consumed by their urges, but while she represses hers, he is acting upon his. The deeper we move into this narrative, the more we explore the character's fractured psyche, as she buries her thoughts and regrets and pours her heart out in solace about the traumas in her past that had all faded when she met the man of her dreams, but now are boiling back to the surface with each passing day. When the plot shifts and the invader is revealed to her, not only does she emotionally lose control, but physically she does as well. He has access to watch her through her baby monitor system and becomes trapped within her own home. By the end, we see things escalate in ways that many will find fairly predictable. Our protagonist overcomes her assailant, but is left forever haunted by the trauma of it all, maintaining nightmares that he is still with her. The plot of this one is obviously very bland and simplistic, but its strength lies in the psychological toll that this life has taken on our protagonist. She is a woman who feels the weight of loss more heavily than most. She feels abandonment, left alone in this life to care for a child by herself with little help from others, and no time to properly grieve the loss of the man that she loved more than anything, or understand why he left her the way he did. The interesting thing to me was that the sadistic home invasion element was not what was terrifying about this one. It was that lingering feeling of crushing doubt, fear, and hopelessness that surrounded this character. The invasion only added to it. Another awful thing to pile on her experiences, making her all the more relatable. I'm giving Lay Me Down to Sleep a B+. I definitely recommend this one to anyone who is interested in home invasion films. While it's not the highest quality production, it still manages to tell a compelling story and create an atmosphere that I feel anyone can relate to in some form. This was a little film that came from a writer-director who hasn't done very much, but who clearly puts thought into creating an emotional reaction with his projects. I would personally like to see more. Well, friends, that's going to be all for now. If you enjoyed this video, or you have suggestions for more films that you would like to see covered in the future, let us know down in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you aren't already, and click that little bell icon to be notified on all of our future content. If you want to help ETF keep making content, please consider supporting us on Patreon. You don't have to give a lot, every little bit helps us stave off the darkness, and gets you some fun little rewards at the same time. Until next time, stay safe, keep embracing film, and thanks for watching.